You're watching Personal Finance with Coach Kelvin. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, Coach Kelvin here. So today I'm just going to talk to you about the stock market crash that's currently occurring. Everyone's screaming out saying, it's the ultimate stock market crash of everything's going down. And I just want to let you know, the current sentiment, and when everything is scary and it looks like the market's dropping at a very alarming rate, this is exactly the time where you should still be buying in at regular intervals as often as possible with as much as you can. So legendary investor Warren Buffett, he says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Now, what we're seeing, especially during the month of January 2022, we're seeing the shares, the cryptocurrency, property market, everything's starting to take a little bit of a dive as investors are freaking out and liquidating their assets in order to go back to cash holdings. Now, this is the time where everything looks like it may go into a bigger crash, but when you see a 5 or 10% drop in an asset, this may be a good time to buy. Obviously, I talk about dollar cost averaging and how important it is to have a strong strategy when it comes to your cryptocurrency investing so that you can constantly grow your portfolio. Whether it's crypto, stocks, whether it's property, whatever you want to do, I fully believe dollar cost averaging is the way to go. And that means when the market is completely red and everybody's freaking out, you're still buying at regular intervals. That also means during the times where the market's expensive and overpriced and people are making money, you're still buying. But what you can do is keep some cash reserves aside, and then when you get to a point where the market is at a value where you think you can add more money, you do so. So what I've done in the last week, I've put in another few $100s into my cryptocurrency portfolio. I've increased my shares purchase this month. Once my rent money comes in, I'll add my own cash parcel to that and also buy more shares. And I'll keep averaging money into the market every single month, regardless of what the state of the economy is in. Because I know over the long term, which is my intention of how long to hold my assets for, I will be better off at the end of the day. So, cryptocurrency, we obviously have seen all of the altcoins suffer as Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is the two top market cap cryptos. As they've dropped, we've seen everything else take a big hit. But if you have any other cryptocurrencies that you hold which can be staked, now is a brilliant time to get in, because as that price sort of recovers, you may be able to start staking it for a higher reward. And as the cryptocurrency price sort of bounces back, your earnings in your staking reward system may actually be equivalent to what you're buying them in at now or something like that. So for example, I was buying Cardano at $2.50 Australian, $3 Australian, $4 Australian, as I was dollar cost averaging in $25 every week. It's now dropped to $1.40, which is the lowest I've ever been able to purchase it at, just because of my late entry into Cardano. So I'm actually now buying cryptocurrency at the lowest rate I've ever been able to. Not for crypto such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, but when it comes to Cardano, yes, that's the case. And this is cool because then as soon as I buy, I stake it, I earn my 5.2% through the CoinSpot app. And this is increasing my holdings every single day. I just restake the new amount that it's earned and I keep growing my portfolio. As the price begins to recover, the amount I'm earning every single day or every single week, month, year, etc. will increase. And then I'll be so grateful that I added more money during these times of uncertainty down the track. So I highly recommend, guys, if you have any disposable cash, not to freak out and actually lessen your holdings or your portfolio. When you're comfortable increasing your portfolio size and you see a significant drop in the market, go as hard as you can to increase your holdings. Now, when it comes to shares, we've seen, a huge drop in the NASDAQ 100, which is the top 100 tech companies in the United States. We've seen the ASX drop around about 6% in the last month, and we're seeing a lot of fear in the markets. Now, if you're an investor that wants to make an average of 7 to 8%, right, and you put money in now, all you're going to do is get some shares at a discounted rate compared to last month. And if and when they recover, especially in the index funds as the market sort of recovers and bounces back, you're going to already clear that 6% that you would have like when it recovers, you're going to already have made a 6% gain, which is 6% more than what would have happened had you been buying in 1 month ago. So I highly recommend, as the market drops, keep adding funds into your portfolio and try not to freak out, because the second that you start selling, you then have to be right to time yourself back into the market a second time. And not only is it super impossible and really difficult to get the selling timing right, but to be on the right track to buy back in, that's very difficult to time. And only a handful of investors can do this over the long term when it comes to day trading and outperforming the standard indexes like the ASX 300, the S&P 500, etc. So take the emotion out of it. Stop checking your portfolio every day and seeing how much you've dropped. In the last 2 weeks, I've watched my share portfolio drop $5,000. I've watched my crypto portfolio drop $2,000. And yes, it can be scary, but this is also, for me, because I've worked on my psychology for this is more exciting, because I know that I'm actually getting my assets on sale. And once they bounce back, I'm going to be able to make a significant return, which will allow me to supercharge my wealth creation down the track. Every time that you buy one of these cryptocurrencies or these shares at a discounted rate, you're going to get a yield through your staking or your dividend, or you can obviously secure some capital gains by selling down the track. And by taking advantage of this discounted time, you're going to supercharge your returns later. So I highly recommend that not only do you keep up your dollar cost averaging strategy, but when you're comfortable, deploy more funds, because you will totally be grateful that you did so in the future. Now, everybody recommends, trying to do the opposite of what the majority of the market are doing, but it's very difficult not to follow suit, because obviously if everyone's doing it, it seems like it's the right thing to do. So during times like this where you see red in the markets, it's best that you turn off notifications on your Facebook in any of the trading groups you might be involved in. I'm in a cryptocurrency Facebook group, and it's full of people saying cryptocurrency is experiencing a rug pull, cryptocurrency has been a scam all along, and blah blah blah. Now imagine if I believed that, I sold all my assets, and then I missed out on the 15% rise that Cardano had today on the 24th of January. That would be extremely stressful, knowing that I would have sold out at the wrong time and missed out on that 15% recovery. So I think the best thing you can do is actually try and eliminate all the media that influences your decision making during this time. Turn off your phone, stop talking to your friends about it, just stick to your strategy and make sure that you have high conviction in what you're doing, because the second you start taking influences from other people, you start thinking about the negative impact or the strain that a paper drop in price is going to have on your assets, and you cement that loss in. And then not only do you have to figure out what to do with that money, you may have to buy in at a more expensive price in the future to start investing again. So you're going to miss out on the opportunity you currently have. Now, I'm not saying never sell your assets, but if you can't find a better opportunity or somewhere better to deploy your funds, I don't see why you should be deploying funds that are already existing assets by selling them and then not really having anything better to do with that money. Just try and add to your current holdings, or even make some new positions in companies that are now at a discount or at a rate that you're comfortable buying in. After you do some analysis on an individual company, you may decide that it's actually a really good buy and therefore you want it. Otherwise, you may not. So guys, I guess what I'm trying to say is, no matter what happens to the market, if you keep up with a really good dollar cost averaging strategy, if you hold low cost, broadly diversified index funds, and you reinvest dividends, you're going to win over the long term. Now, cryptocurrency, that's a bit harder to predict what the long-term success will be, and that's why I have a small portion of my portfolio in cryptocurrency, but every week I'm dollar cost averaging into the three main ones that I want to hold, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. And every single week I deploy $75 across those three, and that's all I do. Of course, I've got some other altcoins. If I want to deploy some funds into those, I absolutely can. But mostly I'm doing that $75 per week into cryptocurrency. This is only a small holding of my portfolio, and it likely will keep growing because it has been already at an alarming rate, to be honest. So I was expecting a correction in the share price and the cryptocurrency price anyway, and I talked about that in my goals video for 2022. I wanted to increase my cash holdings so that I could take advantage of any correction or any dip in the market. Unfortunately, that dip has come a little earlier than I thought it would. But hey, that's all good. I'm still going to take advantage of this opportunity, and if a bigger crash comes or we see the market continually go down, I'm going to keep buying. It's like what Kevin Pathras said, I'm not leaving. As long as you stay invested, you're going to keep winning over the long term. Alright guys, I know it's a bit of a long-winded video, but I just really want to help people keep level-headed in these sort of more uncertain times, because the second your emotions start influencing your behavior, you begin to lose. Alright guys, if you got any value from this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video.